What's up, friend? Thanks again for joining me. I have an awesome 12-minute Pilates workout for you today that you can do anywhere, anytime. We'll start by taking our places in tabletop, opening wide through the knees and settling into a child's pose stretch to start. And from here, we're going to be taking a little transition onto the forearms, flexing through the toes and shifting those hips back and down once more. A little child's pose variation here. We're going to be moving through these two poses, shifting our weight forward, relaxing the feet, back in regular child's pose. Here for a breath or so, and then again, shifting the weight forward onto the forearms and onto the toes. Finding a good rhythm here with your inhale and your exhale. Warming everything up, releasing the tension from the lower back. Beautiful job. We'll do a final breath in traditional child's pose. And slowly come back up into tabletop. Bring those knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders, and we'll be lifting through the right leg first, heading into a tail wag exercise as I turn my trunk towards the right, swiveling on the knee. I'll pass through center, bring that foot over towards my left side, and I'm following my foot with my eyes here as I turn my trunk. And I'm coordinating my breath as well. I'm exhaling to turn, inhaling to pass through center. Heading into our final side before returning that foot to center and down. From here, we're picking up the left foot, flexing through the foot and taking it towards the left side first. Swiveling on the knee, passing through center, and exhaling as I reach that opposite side. This is a nice, slow and controlled movement. Gives the body a chance to warm up, builds that strong mind-body connection that we're always looking for in a Pilates workout. Beautiful job. Let's bring that foot back to center and down. Come off your wrists for a moment. And we're going to make a transition onto our bottoms, creating a scissor shape with our legs. And locating the front leg, we'll have a corresponding extended arm on this side, and your back leg will have our bowing arm. And we'll head towards the bowing side. On the exhale, inhale to return to center, exhale coming up onto the knees, taking it all the way back, inhale to come down and reset. So our breath plays a vital role in this mermaid exercise that we're doing. Great job following your breath. Exhale to come up onto those knees and get that beautiful lateral stretch. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale to return to center, plant the hand next to the hip. Exhale to reach. Wonderful job. From here, we're taking a side plank position, making sure my elbow is stacked under my shoulders and my feet are in line with my torso for the most part. There's a little wiggle room here if you need to bring that foot slightly in front of the hip. We're going to go ahead with some small leg circles, keeping the torso as still as possible, pressing through the elbow, keeping the rib cage as far away from the mat as we can as we bring those legs through that circular motion. We're switching directions, heading the other way, nice controlled circles. Only a few more. This is quite a difficult movement here when we have these side plank leg exercises. You're doing an amazing job. Bring those legs back together. We'll be switching sides and setting up in our mermaid pose on the other side, and you might want to be a little further down on your mat so that you can lay into side plank once we finish that mermaid exercise. So our front leg has the extended arm and our back leg has the bowing arm. We're heading towards the bowing side for a lateral stretch, planting the hand next to the hip as we come up. And again, we're inhaling to reset. Exhale, head into side stretch. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, reaching up. And inhale back down. Wonderful job moving through Mermaid. Well done. Let's take our place in side plank, extending those legs, making sure the elbow is under the shoulder here. Getting situated, we're lifting the leg parallel to the ground to start and beginning with those small leg circles pointing through the toes. Taking those legs any direction to start is fine. We'll make sure to switch directions here in a moment, making sure we get both sides. Amazing job. Let's switch directions. Keeping those circles as consistent as possible. Breathing through this movement. Sometimes it's tempting to hold our breath, but the more we can breathe, the more we can oxygenate those muscles and help them do the best job possible. Fabulous job. Let's stack those legs. And from here, we'll be moving into our next exercise. We've got a bit of a roll down portion here as I set up with my knees bent, feet flat. On the exhale, I'm tilting the pelvis, holding my halfway position and taking my arms through a few arm rainbow stretches. And if you're unable to stabilize yourself in this halfway point, you can reach inside your leg and go ahead and grab just under the knee. Give yourself a little assistance as you take those arms through that rainbow shape and back to center. This is a great core stabilizing exercise as we work really hard to keep those feet flat on the mat during this reach back exercise. Well done, bringing that arm around, back to center. And from here, we're coming back onto the forearms nice and slowly, bringing those knees to tabletop. And through the right leg first, I'll be extending, lowering, and lifting. And if you can get that lift to about a 90 degree, that's great. If not, just take the leg up as high as you can. We're working the core pretty hard here. If you need to rest and rejoin, that's always an option. Rebending and starting now with the left leg, lifting and lowering. Finishing up our final rep before rebending the left knee, coming all the way down to the ground and bringing those knees to chest for a moment. And from here, we'll start to create that tight ball, rounding through the spine and giving ourselves a few reps to rock to a seated position and set up for one of our final exercises. We'll be planting our forearms in a horizontal fashion onto the mat and walking our knees back a step away from the hips. Let's neutralize the hips and spine here, and we'll begin by tilting over onto one side, keeping those hips away from the mat as we swivel on the knees, head to the other side and reach through the arms. Great job. Keep those knees close together. Everything is stacked. And as you get going, you may find that you can reach back a little further and really open up through the chest. If it feels nice and you're able to do it, go ahead and begin with that reach back stretch. If you prefer to just stay perpendicular to the ground, that's absolutely fine too. Do what you're comfortable with here. The biggest thing is to keep those hips pressed away from the mat, engaging those obliques and loading those shoulders as we plank on our forearms. Great job. From here, we're gonna pause and lift and lower through the hips, working those obliques a little more through these hip pulses. Amazing job. Let's head to the other side. We're gonna hold this pose here and drop the hip, flexing and extending. Hang in there, a few more pulses, extending through the lateral side. Amazing. Returning to center. You can come up onto your hands now. Coming off of our wrists and heading into our final exercise of the day, more of a cool down portion at this point. We're opening wide through the legs and the arms as well, settling those hips down into a seal pose. If this is too much on the lower back, you can come down onto the forearm and lift the chest through the forearms from this position as well, but you can also play around with it. As everything loosens up, you may find that you can hit that extended arm position. Keeping those legs wide is the key. The wider the legs are, the more space our hips have to settle in. And I do like to end with some neck exercises, taking my neck through full range of motion, flowing a little bit here as I take my inhales through the nose and exhales out of the mouth. Slowly coming out of seal pose, I'm heading into child's pose, finishing where we've started, releasing the tension in the lower back. The child's pose is a great complement to the seal. Taking a nice, beautiful breath here. And when you're ready, we'll begin slowly coming out and returning to a resting state. And thank you again so much for being with me. It's always a pleasure. I will catch you next time. Bye, friend.